Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to American Truck Simulator on my channel. I have actually tried to make this video. This is my fourth attempt. The first one, my voice wasn't coming through well enough, and the truck overpowered it. So and there was a little bit of an echo, so I wasn't using a headset. So now I've switched to a headset. Well, on the second one I switched to a headset and forgot to get into the settings and change it from speakers to the headset. So I could hear it just fine, but there was no sound of the game being recorded. So I decided, well, we'll just put some music on, I'll talk, no big deal. Well, got that all taken care of, did all the editing, and started last night rendering it and getting it ready to to be uploaded today. Well, less than halfway through the rendering last night, one of the frames apparently dropped out and basically killed it. So I lost an hour's worth of video. So I figured I'd try it again this morning. Everything was going pretty good. Even the lagging had slowed down. I had a really bad lag while I was driving. It irritated me. I knew it was going to irritate people watching it. But I got to a spot because I'm running my lowboy. I was delivering a school bus, and for some reason, good old GPS, took me through a logging site to get to a Tesla dealership, and bottomed out the lowboy and got stuck, and there was no way for me to get it off, so I scrapped that one. So now we're on to number 4. It's a freeway run from Eugene to Medford, carrying a front-end loader, I believe. I'll look it up when I get back out. I just don't want to be burning through my time and end up being late like I almost was before. So yeah, I've not given up of trying to do this. It's a learning curve, and I knew it was going to be a learning curve, and I know that I'm not that great at computers. You'll hear my chair in the background. It's an old chair. Sorry. Hopefully upgrade to everything soon. But this is a learning curve for me. Friend started doing this with some of the games that he plays, and it's like, I'm bored, nothing to do, been stuck in the house for 2 months, so let's give it a shot. And so far it's been a complete failure, except for the video that I just shot on my phone of my boss doing a recovery. That's the other video that's on here right now, depending on when you watch this. But yeah, let's kind of get going, go pick up this equipment, and take it down to Medford. And we'll see if I can get this one posted without any issues. So, it's raining. Again, not that savvy on it. I know some guys can, turn the rain off and make it sunny and stuff like that. I can't do that yet. The rain doesn't bother me. I don't drive in third person very much because I'm not good at it. I'll try a little bit so you guys can see the truck and such. But, you know, I built this truck yesterday. I know it's really hard to see. Maybe it'll get better ready to stop me. Yeah, I tried to keep it a little bit minimum. I'm a light guy. I actually sell emergency lights and off-roading lights. So even though it's, you know, minimum, you gotta have the flashies. My boss laughs at me. So yeah, it's kind of minimalistic on it compared to some of the other ones I've done. I've got one that's got the big giant bull bar on it and stuff like that. It's got like 20 lights on it. Just blinds you as you're going down the road. So I figured I would go a little bit less. So anyway, I do need to top off my tank real quick. Should have done that, I guess, just before I started taping, but you know, not everything needs to be done right away. Doesn't take too long to fuel anyway. A lot of people are on the East Coast, I guess. Fuel's fairly cheap. We're still at or above $2 a gallon in most cases here. Diesel is definitely over $2 a gallon still. So it's on automatic. I don't know why it's not working. I swear, I'm just not going to be able to record one of these. Reverse goes up, but my forward gears are not working. Okay, so I guess we are going to go a little bit. We'll edit this out. Like my trailer is still stuck. Nope, it's not that.
find a new route.
Okay. That was extremely weird. Hard part about using keyboard and mouse is that the forward or reverse sometimes moves you up. I don't know exactly what happened, but it took putting a new transmission in the truck to get it to work right. I don't know. But because I've had so much issues trying to get this video loaded, I am not going to mess with this and try to start over again. So, yeah, we'll just go with it. Anyway, we're going over here, well, to start off with. So, where my yard is located, this is my home yard. They call it Eugene. Anybody who's familiar with the Eugene Springfield area knows that this side of I-5 is Springfield. And right here to my left is actually a IHOP, and then the gas station that's just behind me is the McDonald's. And where our yard is where Denny's and the hotels are. So, and I've heard people say that it's, some things around their hometowns aren't right, or something, but it's a game, so we kind of have to deal with it. But even though they call it Eugene, see that sculpture over there? That is actually in Springfield, and that's actually where it's located. So they're actually using stuff that is in Springfield to call it Eugene. No biggie. I just kind of find it amusing. So, yeah, we're going over here to the rock place, quarry place, whatever you want to call it. Which we do have those here in Eugene, in the similar area. So yeah, I'm just trying to do short runs on my first few of the 4 to just try to get something up and learn and kind of maybe show people that I'm trying to get this going, and kind of go from there. Lovely AIs. So according to the game clock of real time, yes, I do have the Star Wars mod in. Don't ask me about my mods. I mean, if you want to, ask a question down in the comments about, a specific mod, I guess, or something that you see, I'll do my best to answer it. I'm the shiny guy thing, oh, that looks cool, let's put it in. No research, no checking if people have had issues with it or, something like that. Which has cost me a couple times. Where the computer goes, no, that's not going to work. You're just going to have to try something else. It's the price you pay for being impulsive and thinking, oh, that's cool, and let's do that. So, alrighty. So, on the first two, I had a lot of lagging issues, where the truck would, jerk and stop, and things would, I had a truck that was bouncing all over the place, and was worried that it was actually going to hit me, so I had to move my truck. And no, it is not here, so that's a good thing. But I enjoy this game. Like I was saying, the game clock for real time has me almost 48 hours of play, and then the in-game clock for days that you've had the game or been in the game, played the game. I'm not sure how they figured it out. 9,800 days. So I'm assuming that has to be even when you're not playing the game, it still takes into account those days. So, because I can't believe that even the 9,800 days sounds pretty bad, pretty a lot. So Cat 938 front end loader, going to Medford. We have 6 hours to get there. It's like a 3-hour drive, I think, in real time, depending on how you drive. So yeah, let's get it going. Now, the last time I pulled out of this parking spot, I didn't even make it past here without crashing my trailer into the vertical pillars here. So let's see if I can maybe do this a little bit better this time. That's better. So since this is the first video that has, commentary like this, I figured I would, kind of give you guys some background on me. My name is David. I'm 47, I think. I don't really pay too much attention to that anymore. Grew up in a small town, moved to Eugene in the mid-90s, started driving tow truck. When the economy kind of fell apart in 08, I ended up getting into a big truck. Did that for 9 months. Hurt my back, so I ended up not being able to do that anymore. And pretty much the only other thing I've done is towing. Did security for, I don't know, a few months, and then my days off I bounced at our local rock and rodeo up here. Working for a tow company now, with all this virus stuff going on. The calls are pretty much non-existent. It's been really slow, so that's one reason I'm doing this YouTube stuff. I'm trying to. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of me in a nutshell. Came from a town of less than 4,000 people, so Eugene is big for me. Planning on moving out of here someday. Hopefully the sooner the better. Plan on getting into the hotshot stuff. Have my personal pickup and gonna get a trailer. Start running loads in this small truck. Not really too excited about getting back in a big truck and pushing these things around. If it came down to it, I wouldn't have an issue doing it, but yeah, just a lot of extra work in the big truck, and kind of with the hot shot, you can kind of pick your own way to go. Plan on doing the dispatching myself. So it gives me a little bit more control over, where I go, when I go, what days I want off, which probably won't be very many. This guy's going to pull right back in front of me, I know it. Being single and my kids are all grown, I don't have any reason to come home anymore. So we'll see what happens. I find myself in Wyoming or Montana or Idaho or something. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. I keep saying that's it for me, and then I keep going on. So I play, obviously, ATS, American Truck Simulator. I do play World of Warships. I play a little bit of Star Trek Online, City Skylines, Life is Fuel, Forest Village. I don't know if I'll put any of those on here. I'm going to kind of try to... The initial plan was to keep it kind of transportation related. With the towing, as long as I'm in that, and the truck simulator and stuff like that. But I may put some other stuff on here to just split it up a little bit, make it a little more interesting. I watch a guy, Full Tilt Gaming. He does a lot of driving sims, a lot of ATS stuff, but he does the NASCAR and spin tires and bunch of other ones. A lot of them I'm not really that interested in. So the ATS is one that I'm pretty focused on what he does. He's got a really nice setup compared to what I have. I use keyboard and a mouse. Luckily, I have used the roller mouse, whatever, to run my games and my computer for the most part. The roller mouse works really well for driving the truck. You can't, a regular mouse, I crash all the time. It's just so hard to control. But this one gives you the minute movements for steering. And I wish there was a way to turn that beeper off. I still stop at the scales because I'm trying to maintain the realistic side of playing this game. But the beeping just is so overwhelming. I don't know if the 7 or the 3.7, I think it is, if that's going to have. I know it's got a lot more audio controls coming out with it. So I think, I hope that that could be one of the audio controls that they have to turn that beeper off. They have it to turn the truck beeper off, so it'll be nice to be able to turn that one off as well. I try to keep this game as realistic as I can, like I said. I do have the traffic offenses turned off. That's why I don't have the sleep marker, whatever you want to call it, on the mini-map there. Mainly because the AI has a tendency to cost me money. It doesn't necessarily even do what dumb drivers do out in the real world. They will stop at the stoplight at a red light, and you start to drive through, and you're halfway in the intersection, and they pull out and hit you. Well, the thing is, even though you had the green light, and they pulled out and they hit you, you get the traffic fine and you get the ticket. So the AIs were costing me more money than any infraction I ever did. And then you have where sometimes the computer doesn't realize, or the game doesn't realize, that you're making a right turn on a red light, which is, legal pretty much most places I've been. So you'll get a $1,000 red light ticket. Just because the computer doesn't understand that you've come to a stop and you're making a right turn on red, and I did not see that car. I gotta adjust my mirrors. Plus talking was not the smartest thing to do while I'm driving. So yeah, I've got it turned off, but I still, stop at the stoplight, stop at the stop signs. stop on my right turns. The yields I might go through a little without looking because it's, doing this with the same controller that you use to steer. You want to look right. You've got to steer right, or then you have to look and then start to drive and then push it back to the original one. That's why it's jerky when it goes back. And then pull out. So it's a little hard. I hope to have one of the what does FTG call it? The deal that goes under your glasses or your hat or your headphones or something like that, that when you move your head, it moves. That'll kind of make it a little bit easier. To see where I'm going. Eventually I hope to have the a steering wheel and the pedals and gear shift and all that stuff. But we'll see. I mean, that stuff's not cheap, and right now very few people have extra money to toss around on stuff that, at the current point isn't very important. But yeah, if anybody, watches this and or is wondering about American Truck Simulator and they end up watching this, I do enjoy it. Even with, some of the AI issues. You do have the Truckers MP, which is a multiplayer. One of their servers can handle, or shows it can handle up to 1,500 drivers. I've seen 800 is the max I've seen. So, I mean, you're passing guys, real drivers quite often. And the CBs work, so you can talk to each other and, be part of the community. That's one thing that I think ATS kind of lacks in realism is the stuff you do outside the truck. Actually getting out and putting fuel in, getting out and going into the office to find out where to put it instead of just clicking on where do you want it. You go inside and you do that. You go inside to figure out where your trailer is located. You go into a truck stop and order food. Go into McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever and order food. Go be able to walk around inside your garage and just kind of a little more realistic aspect to it. I understand that that's a lot to do. I watch a guy, Polecat, on Twitch and YouTube, and I think he's best known for his Department of Justice roleplay, and that uses the Grand Theft Auto 5 framework. So you have a bunch of stuff that you interact with, buildings and people and cars and stuff like that. It makes it a little bit more realistic. If you're interested in roleplay, cops and robbers and civilians and stuff like that, there's quite a few groups, sites, whatever you want to call that that deal with that. You have the DOJ, you have OCRP. Like I say, there's a bunch of them. Some are better than others. Some are easier to get into. Some are harder to get into. DOJ, you have a full application to fill out. You have interviews. You have training. I mean, it's pretty. Is the word. There's a lot to it. So, kind of depends on what you want to do. I mean, some guys in, the trucking MP, they have their own companies and they hire drivers and, so they're kind of a team and stuff, but the interaction outside the truck isn't really... There's none there. I mean, there's nothing really else to say. So, but with the RP ones, I mean, the framework's already there, so it's easier for them. SCS and American Truck Simulator would have to basically completely redo this game in most aspects to be able to do that. So, I don't see it happening unless some other company takes over and kind of changes it. See, like here, you pull in the yard, you get out, you walk over to the foreman, figure out, okay, he tells you, what can you do, or asks you what you can do, and depending on your skill level, you tell him, okay, yeah, I can put it wherever you want. Where do you need it? Or, no, I'm in a hurry. I just want to drop my trailer and get out of here. So it'd be just a little bit more realistic than just, clicking this button and going, okay, that's where they want it, But I know it sounds like I'm complaining, a lot about it, but really I'm not. They're just ideas. I enjoy the game. The modders, the guys that do the mods for the games, they do good jobs in most cases. I have had some where, they conflict, but it's not as easy. It's not like, a doctor's office where they have lists of drugs that interact with each other and stuff like that. Well, you don't have that here. Because you don't know until somebody tells you, and then you know, well, okay, this one doesn't work with this one. But again, I'm the type of person that goes, oh, that looks nice, put it on. I will read the descriptions and stuff. But if there's a bunch of, bunch of writing, it's just not as, I just kind of skip it. So, yeah. Don't give me a contract. It's this one. But yeah, it's a fun game. Normally I'm back since I am driving a tow truck and drove big trucks and like that. Okay. Alright. So we made it to Medford. Got it offloaded. Anybody who plays the game realizes that I've got the economy boost in. I just, going through the hassle of, or the time it takes to go through your levels and your points and stuff. I have on my Truckers MP. I don't have the economy mod, so I have to do it the kind of the old-fashioned way, and slowly building up through my points, being able to put more stuff on my truck. When you first start out, you can't build a truck like this in most cases because a lot of the parts require a certain level, which is good. I mean, in real life, people do start out with brand new trucks, and which these are all new trucks, but I mean, fully decked out like this, they'll go down to the dealership and throw, $300,000 in a truck and have never driven one in their life. So, there's that. But, just real quick to finish this up, last time I rambled for 10 more minutes after I got done actually driving, so we'll try to keep it a little softer. Shorter, says the guy that said he doesn't talk much. So anyway, something I wanted to put out there with what's going on in the world right now with the virus and everything. Remember to take time to understand what's going on. To do your social distancing, which I know everybody's sick and tired of hearing that. I know I am. But we got people that right down the road here, they throw parties. 5, 6, 7 cars show up of their friends, and they go in and do their thing, and it's just like, that's okay. I don't want to hear if something happens. But something that I see on Facebook is, thank God for the truckers, and the economy crashed without the truckers, and we'd starve without the truckers, and that's absolutely true. The issue with that, not really an issue, but the thing is, with the truckers wouldn't have anything to do without everybody else. So you have to remember that, the farmers have the land, and you've got a guy that makes fertilizer, and you've got a guy that makes tractors, and you got a guy that makes the boxes that they put it in, and then you got a guy that picks it, and then it goes to the warehouse or the processing facility. You got the workers there. Then it usually goes to a truck, and then it goes to a warehouse. You have dispatchers and brokers, and then when it gets to the warehouse, then it gets put back on a truck again with dispatchers and brokers, and then the truck takes it to the store. So once it gets to the store, it has to be offloaded. Most drivers don't offload their own trucks, so you've got people to offload the trucks, whether it's clerks or, you know, other type of people that work there. Excuse me. Then you got the stockers to put it on the shelf, and then you have the checkers that check out you and your product to go out the door. So, you know, that's a supply chain. So any one of those people, if they decide, or group of people, I guess, would be more accurate, decide, yeah, we're done. We're not going to do this anymore. Guess what? You're not getting fed. You're not getting clothed. You're not buying your computers. You're not buying nothing without the entire chain. So when I see, you know, the truckers being praised, yes, they deserve it. They're working their butts off. But so's everybody else. It's a group effort. And as long as the group effort stays going, we'll survive. When that chain fails and there isn't another link to replace it, the chain becomes useless. And we as a people most of us don't have a way to do everything ourselves. I don't think anybody can really do everything themselves. Even back, you know, as far back as time allows, you always had people that could do something that other people couldn't, and vice versa, so they would trade. So the supply chain has always been there, since the beginning. It's gotten a lot more complex, a lot bigger, a lot more expensive, but it's basically the exact same thing that it was when it started. You have a person that makes it, you have a person that could be the same person back then that would transport it and give it to somebody else. But did they make their cart? Did they make the hoe that they used? Or did a blacksmith do that? Well, the blacksmith is busy doing his blacksmith stuff, so he might not necessarily have time to till a garden or grow food. So he's got to rely on everybody else, the old barter system back then. And eventually money came around. But, you know, keep the entire supply chain in your thoughts. That they all go to work every day with the possibility of getting this stuff, of getting the virus, because one, yes, it's their job and they need the money, but two, most of them are doing it because they know if it doesn't get done, people starve, things don't get delivered. You know, it's a continuous thing. I have thoughts of how to make things work without money anymore, but I'm not going to go into that in this video. I might do a commentary one sometime. But, you know, keep your neighbors in your thoughts. Keep the world in your thoughts. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video works. If you're watching it, apparently it did. And I'm planning on doing more. I don't know if I'm going to try to do a schedule. You know, a couple a week or one a day or something like that at this point. It kind of depends on how things go. My computer's a little slower, even though it's fairly new, with the memory issues. So it takes a long time to render. I'm still learning how to edit, and I'm not really that good at it, so it takes me a while. And then our upload speed on our internet is junk, so it takes like all night to actually load it to YouTube. So we'll see how things go. If I get faster at doing everything else, I just have to deal with the slow upload. If my channel starts to do decent and one of our housemates' channel starts to do decent, I will talk about him at another time. He does more fighter games, so hand-to-hand combat, stuff like that. I don't even know actually what he plays, but I will give him a shout out when I get his information. But if we do well, we may upgrade our internet and be able to do things a little bit better. So, but yeah, that's it for this one. I hope everybody is safe. Enjoy the good weather. Get some yard work done. Anyway, thank you. God bless, and take care.